What is up, beautiful Rhode Island? The one and only Captain Rendrag here at Roger Williams Zoo, and I'm at the Betsy Williams cottage. Very influential and hitting home. She is the great-great-granddaughter of the one and only Roger Williams, the gentleman that settled Rhode Island. And with Thanksgiving coming around the corner, I thought it was important that we hit home with some of the settlers of this area. Now, we've heard about the settlers of Massachusetts and how they went about their stuff and the Great Thanksgiving, but not so much about Mr. Roger Williams. And you know, Roger Williams is the grandfather and so on to the freedom of religion, not enduring what the English were trying to hit home with them up in Massachusetts. He came down here and he started buying territory from the Native Americans, not taking it over, purchasing it. A big difference from what would happen 200 years later down the road with America. A very big difference. I think that if we had taken idealism from Roger Williams, there might not have been so much casualties in the Native American wars, and they could have became some of our best allies. But with that said, Thanksgiving being around the corner, one would wonder, what would Mr. Roger Williams have had during Thanksgiving in Rhode Island? Would he have had what we are eating right now? Definitely not. He definitely would have had a diet that would have consisted of seafood, because the fish was around. Whatever they had preserved in salt pork, or in the pork fat, some sort of beef that they had stuck in the lard to preserve it, and whatever vegetables they had used to store as well. And of course, the harvest of gourds would be stored underneath squashes, pumpkins under the beds to keep them cool. So those would be definitely a source of food. As far as grain, 100% corn, not wheat. Wheat is expensive, very expensive where it's coming from, and it's not really at great grasp right now in this area. So it would have been more of a cornmeal that they would have had, closer to a cornbread versus anything like stuffing wise with what we have now. Now, they could have definitely had a stuffing made out of the cornbread material, cranberries, and Concord grapes later on dried into raisins. So that definitely would have happened, and give you a nice little pre-colonial Thanksgiving meal that you can make for each other if you want to try this out. Definitely make the cornbread ahead of time, let it dry out, and when it dries out, you're going to crunch it up, put it in a chicken stock, not water, and some sort of chicken stock. And then the chicken stock and everything, you're going to add raisins or Concord grapes or dried up blueberries. That works too, but maybe all three. And a little bacon crumbles inside there. And there's your stuffing for Thanksgiving. And there's a very good old-fashioned recipe that predates the colonial era that would be used in the colonial era as well. So there you go. Now, going back to Betsy Ross, not Betsy Ross, I apologize for that little goof up. Betsy Williams, what a beautiful name, huh? This is the original spot of her house, and if you look out amongst some of the original pictures, you can see that the pond does exist, and they would erect in her time period right behind her, well, a little further out in her time period, because obviously there's pictures of this. They would erect the Civil War monument, one of the first in America, which is right across from me right here. And you can see it. That thing's old. So the Civil War monuments that you come down to see in Roger Williams Park, which we will get to the Civil War stuff in a little bit. I have to get on me old pedal pony and start riding around and checking out this beautiful park to give you guys some more historical Thanksgiving tidbits wrapped into some of the Remembrance Day, which is coming up very shortly. All right, guys, Captain Rendrag, I will see you in a little bit. What is up, guys? Captain Rendrag here at the beautiful Roger Williams Zoo in Rhode Island, part of Providence Parks, and we're in front of a statue right here, a monument giving way to the music bands of the the Army. It's kind of cool. I like this statue because it reminds me of my Uncle Doug. My Uncle Doug was actually a musician in the Navy, and when we got into the reenactment world, which honestly that's when I met him, that's why I call him Uncle Doug, because he was close to me, very, very close. He was the bugle for the artillery, which was a very big part of the American Civil War. It did everything from calls for meals to battle charges to loading the guns, cavalry charges, positionings, you name it. The bugle was essential in the American Civil War, and it would still be essential in today's military, by the way. They kind of cheat, though. Some of the bugle guys have recordings that go in the horn, so it's not the same as it was when Uncle Doug was doing it. Uncle Doug would pass in service, and by I say pass in service, he would pass in service for the artillery company in Newport, where he would have a heart attack while he was maintaining the building. Rest in peace, Uncle Doug. There were quite a few Thanksgivings where we spent it together, and I'm looking forward to spending it together with your spirit. We used to go down to Bailey's Beach there, and there was a buffet inside that building there that we would attend, and if we didn't attend that, Uncle Doug would attend it with us later on at our tables and stuff. So I miss you, Uncle Doug. You were great. You were one of my best friends, which is why I call you an uncle more than a best friend. And this Thanksgiving, not only will there be a place at my table for you, but it's also for my mother, because they won't be with us. And of course, my Uncle Andy. I would be remiss if I didn't mention my actual blood uncle. So there'll be a place for you, three of you, when I'm sitting there alone this Thanksgiving. So that's why this bugle boy right here actually means a lot to me. And you can see his Civil War style uniform when you get closer to the statue. There is a lot of this stuff down at Roger Williams, guys, so if you get the chance to hit this park, definitely do so. She is old. She was given by Betsy Williams. I almost said Ross again. Betsy Williams to the town of Providence in 1870. I dare say she is one of the oldest parks, if not one of the oldest zoos still running. And I'm going to show you guys some cool structures as we're going through. I'm going to take some pictures of them and maybe do some audio in front. And I still have some visitations to do for the cemetery. So I got a long day ahead of me and a long bike ride home. All right, guys. Love you. Out.